From WBNG, the Southern Tier's #1 local news. This is 12 News at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us once again for 12 News here at 11. I'm Zach Grady, and we begin tonight with Hurricane Helene. The hurricane is forecasted to slam into the southeastern United States this evening. The National Weather Service says the powerful storm strengthened into a Category 4 hurricane earlier this afternoon with winds of 130 miles an hour. It is expected to bring catastrophic storm surge and damaging hurricane-force winds. Jason Allen starts our report this evening from Crawfordville, Florida.
Hurricane Helene is barreling across the Gulf of Mexico as it targets Florida.
It's going to be a significant storm, and even as it moves inland throughout northern Florida, you are going to see trees that are going to be falling down.
This Port St. Lucie resident was getting ready for work when the wind helped topple a power pole right next to his house.
Obviously, it's pretty miraculous that the house isn't on fire.
Strong gusts of wind and heavy rain moved across the Orlando area Thursday. Residents throughout much of the state and large parts of the southeast braced for dangerous storm surge that could hit as high as 20 feet.
Any storm that comes through the area, it's something that's very worrisome, only because you don't know how far the water will come up.
The director of the National Hurricane Center described the expected storm surge along Florida's northwestern coastline as, quote, a really unsurvivable scenario. Early flooding hit waterfront neighborhoods in St. Petersburg. Here in Crawfordville, in northwest Florida, the wind really starting to pick up now, and this is a place Helene could pass directly over. Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia have joined Florida in declaring states of emergency.
If it is not necessary for you to be on the roads during and after this storm, please try to stay home.
The region will face increased flash flooding and tornado threats as Helene bears down. Jason Allen, CBS News, Crawfordville, Florida.
All right, we move from the southern states to the southern tier, and Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges is joining us now to let us know how Hurricane Helene may be affecting us here in the 607.
Well, real quick, it's not going to impact us in any significant way, but same can't be said for the Big Bend. This storm is just about ready to make landfall. What do you mean, Howard? The eye wall's already come ashore. That's not the definition of making landfall. A hurricane makes landfall when the center of the circulation interacts with the coastline. The center of the circulation somewhere, probably roughly in that area, there's the coastline. So I'm guessing landfall hasn't been declared just yet, but should probably over the next half an hour or so. But incredible damage being done down there, no doubt about that. Going to make landfall northwest of Horseshoe Beach, about 40 miles to the northwest there. And this is going to... Tallahassee's up behind like the letter A in that banner, so maybe it misses Tallahassee, but they're still in the center of that cone of uncertainty. 140-mile-an-hour winds sustained as of 11 o'clock. The gusts have come up to 160 miles an hour. Just complete devastation with storm surge, obviously lots of wind damage and whatnot, but we'll take a look at our forecast in just a little bit.
Thank you, Howard. Looking forward to that. And here at home in Otsego County, the Oneonta City Clerk's Office has released new information on a deadly fire that occurred earlier this afternoon. Oneonta Fire and police responded to the fire, which occurred at 47 Chestnut Street shortly after 1 p.m. A single death has been reported, and the identity of the deceased is being withheld pending notification of the next of kin. The cause of the fire, as well as the manner of the death, remain under investigation. The Endicott Police Department is investigating what happened today outside of Union Endicott High School. A little after dismissal at Union Endicott High School, Endicott police responded to the reporting of a stabbing. Chief Pat Gary says the information that they have at this time is still unconfirmed. Police say that the incident happened near the school but did not take place on school grounds. 2 minors were transported to local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. Gary noted that the public as well is not in any danger. Anyone, though, with information is asked to contact the Endicott Police Department. And the Norwich Police Department is releasing the disturbing details in a months-long worth of investigation into a dead body found inside the city. Police say on May 1st, officers responded to 12 Columbia Street for the unattended death of a 71-year-old female. Officials say an investigation showed 45-year-old Mark Paul Randall, a registered sex offender, had performed sexual acts on the dead woman several times over several hours. Randall has been charged with tampering with physical evidence and sexual misconduct. He was arraigned at Norwich City Court, and he is being held on a $25,000 bail. Mamadou Tal, an international student at Cornell University, says he is effectively facing deportation after being suspended from the school for a second time. The PhD student was suspended in April after taking part in the pro-Palestinian encampment that appeared at the school's Arts Quad. On Monday, he was suspended a second time after participating in another demonstration on campus, this one last week. Tal says he has remained peaceful in his advocacy against Cornell's involvement with Israel, but his latest suspension, he is now facing dire consequences. He's not allowed on campus, and his F1 visa is at risk.
I joined this place with the intention to get a degree, a PhD, and also not just my education, I'm also a teacher. And my students are not, I've been able to find substitutions for my class, but my students are also being punished as well.
Tal's story has gained attention throughout the campus and the country. Some attention has been positive and some negative. Throughout the week, several student groups around campus have rallied around Tal and called for the reversal of his suspension. Joel Molina, Vice President for University Relations at Cornell, told 12 News in part, quote, "Universities can disallow enrollment and bar a student from campus, but do not have deportation powers," end quote. Legislators in Cortland County want to keep a larger percentage of the county's sales tax revenue that under their control. Right now, they share just a little under 50% of their $39.9 million in annual tax revenue with local municipalities. As state-mandated services grow and prices rise, the county is looking to keep a larger share of the revenue to help foot the bill of these mandates.
But with this year, with the costs that we're seeing, we really have to look where we can get maximize return on our revenue, and sales tax is one of those.
The tax plan is currently delayed a year as the county legislature works with local municipalities to prepare them for the change. 12 News reached out to the Village of Homer and the State of New York Comptroller's Office, but neither returned our response. This afternoon in Chemung County, 100 employees from businesses around the southern tier came together to help fight hunger relief. Employees from businesses like Wegmans, Tioga Downs, Williams Auto, and more gathered at the food bank of the Southern Tier's Elmira's warehouse to compete in the 2024 Leader of the Pack Corporate Challenge. The competition saw teams racing to pack 480 food bags in the fastest time possible, ending with over 5,000 bags in total that will be distributed across 41 school districts.
Just to see the camaraderie between all the teams, the competition, and just everybody's having a great time. What they're doing is very important, and they know that, but they're having fun while making a difference for the people we serve.
This competition is a part of the Backpack program, one of the many services the food bank provides in their fight against hunger in the southern tier. And this coming winter, you can help fight the cold as well. You can keep a child warm. The annual BNG Coats for Kids drive is in full swing. You can drop off a new or gently used coat at any of our participating locations from now until October 27th. Those locations include Hatala Orthodontics, Enwell Family Physicians, Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning ServPro, Tier Pediatrics, and Tioga State Bank. Each location will have a designated bin that will say Coats for Kids. All coats will be cleaned by Bates Troy. You can head to our website right now for the addresses of each location. And there have been new developments following New York City Mayor Eric Adams' federal indictment. Coming up on 12 News at 11, the U.S. Attorney's Office says that Adams was involved in a scheme involving at least one government official. Those details when we return. But before we go anywhere, here is a live look at downtown Binghamton. And Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges will be back after the break with your latest forecast.
Dame is back. There's no way he's not here for her. Is it crazy to lump back what we lost?
I don't know why I feel so nervous. Rise up. Everyone's wondering what you took and if the rest of us did too. Don't we deserve to know the truth?
I don't know if y'all can come back from this.
All American Homecoming, series finale this Monday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
This month at Matthews Kia in Vestal, lease the stylish new 24 Kia Forte LXS with technology package for only $269 per month with $3,000 due at signing. Or get a great financing rate on every new 24 Sportage model. Choose the rate and term that's best for you, starting at 0.9% APR at Matthews Kia, Old Vestal Road behind Lowe's.
I'm an OBGYN here in New York. I would never entrust the health and safety of my patients to Mark Molinaro. I have noticed women are starting to feel their rights are at risk here in New York State, and I think that they are correct based on Mark Molinaro's voting history. He voted against abortion access 13 times, and Molinaro has already voted to punish doctors who perform abortions. I'm worried that I will not be able to take care of my patients because I will be restricted by what Mark Molinaro wants.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising. It's fall in New York State, and you have to see it. Plan the perfect trip, or just jump in the car. Either way, it's going to be breathtaking. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. It's what makes it easy to love New York. Start your getaway at iloveny.com.
For repairs and service, trust your Cadillac to Matthews Cadillac, the only factory authorized Cadillac service center in 12 counties, specializing in warranty work with genuine Cadillac parts. Book online at MatthewsCadillacVestal.com.
Lease a brand new 2024 Nissan Sentra SV featuring alloy wheels and push-button start for only $269 a month for 36 months. Make Carbine simple. Drive your deal at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Cornell.
Rethink how you get breaking news. With Local News Live, you get the big national stories direct from local reporters. Authentic, unfiltered.
Local News Live. Always streaming on all 12 News digital platforms.
Welcome back once again. We move now to a historic indictment in New York City. Mayor Eric Adams is resisting calls to step down after federal prosecutors have laid out explosive corruption charges against him, those in a 57-page court document. Adams, a Democrat and a former police captain, is now the city's first mayor to be charged with federal crimes, those including bribery. He could face a judge as early as tomorrow to enter a plea. Nikki Batiste reports that the allegations go back years, long before Adams took control of America's largest city.
The foreign money, the corporate money, the bribery, the years of concealment is a grave breach of the public's trust.
United States Attorney Damian Williams says New York City Mayor Eric Adams' alleged bribery scheme involving at least one government official and several businessmen in Turkey began nearly a decade ago.
The mayor sought and accepted well over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits. He told the public he received no gifts, even though he was secretly being showered with them.
Prosecutors say Adams used straw donors or third parties to accept illegal foreign campaign donation. Those contributions led to $10 million in public matching funds to his campaign. They also allege that in September 2021, a Turkish official told Adams it was his turn to repay them, asking Adams to pressure the New York Fire Department to allow a recently built Turkish skyscraper in Manhattan to open without being inspected.
What stuck out to you about the indictment?
The gravity of the charges, the complexity of the scheme, and the efforts that went right up until recently to conceal the alleged crimes.
Adams is charged with 5 counts of bribery, fraud, and soliciting illegal foreign campaign donations.
It's an unfortunate day, and it's a painful day.
If convicted, he could face up to 45 years in prison. Adams maintains his innocence.
And I ask New Yorkers to wait to hear our defense before making any judgments.
New York's Democratic governor is the only person with the power to remove Adams from office. A spokesperson told us the governor is monitoring the situation. When Mayor Adams spoke outside his official residence here today, the crowd around him started chanting, "Resign, resign." Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
In a statement released a short while ago, Governor Kathy Hochul said, quote, "New Yorkers deserve to know that their municipal government is working effectively, ethically, and in the best interest of the people. Driving down crime, educating our kids, and ensuring basic city services continue unabated. It is now up to Mayor Adams to show the city that he is able to lead in that manner," end quote. We head now over to the Weather Center one more time and check in with Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges as he joins us with our full forecast this evening. Howard, what is going on here in the southern tier?
We've got a damp night, still some light rain in spots, but far and away the big story here is probably the about landfalling Helene right now. Let's take a look at the national picture. I'm actually going to check the National Hurricane Center website one more time just to make sure that they haven't announced it officially making landfall yet. It's getting mighty close, I can tell you that. We're just waiting to see if there's an update here. Let me get to one more page here. Let's see if there's, okay, I do not see anything. Yeah, do not see anything official just yet. So I'll talk about that in a second here. But yeah, still some light rain, a lot of clouds around the area. Just a damp day today. There's a look. I've changed the color palette here to be able to pick up on some of the rain. Light rain over into Delaware County. The reds are what you see. That is the likely some sprinkles and some drizzle maybe falling apart in Tioga County there as well. But the traditional green color doesn't work here tonight because there's so much moisture in the air. So here's a look at, this is a Tallahassee, NWS Tallahassee radar loop, and I'm going to have to say that this thing has made landfall. What is landfall? It's not when one of the eye walls touches land. It's when the center of circulation, so the center of this empty area essentially, is where that circulation is. So when the center of it intersects with the coastline, it becomes landfalling. So if it hasn't been declared, it probably will be in the next 5 to 10 minutes because in my eyes, it looks like it's, you know, in fact, that latest radar scan shows that it looks like it has pushed inland. So that probably going to be declared making landfall right now to the northwest of Horseshoe Beach, probably about 40 miles or so. And yeah, just a horrible situation down there. It's a major Category 4 hurricane. And just not good. 50s right now, looking at headlines. Stubborn showers and some light rain, even some drizzle and perhaps even some fog. But I think we get to Friday night and Saturday, some light rain showers are possible. I think clouds are going to win out for a while. We're looking at Helene about to make landfall, if not already making landfall. There's a look at it right now. Winds up to 140 miles an hour sustained, but the gusts up to 160 miles an hour with the central pressure down to 938 millibars. This is going to move almost directly north and probably clip the state capital of Tallahassee. But again, horrible, horrible weather down in that area. There's a live look right now. Again, this is an infrared imagery showing that the center, actually that's a different image showing some of that clearing has moved inland. But you also got to remember that the satellite, it looks down on it at an angle. So this is probably a little bit far inland from where the clearing is actually showing up there. But again, this storm is going to be moving north and again, not expected to bring us any sort of impact as it moves over toward places like Atlanta, but massive flooding expected in the Appalachian Mountains. Warnings up and down the southeastern part of the United States, hurricane and tropical storm. Future track here, we've got clouds around through the day tomorrow, maybe some filtered sun at times, but we're dry. Friday night into Saturday morning, I think some light rain showers are possible, but they're going to be fighting some dry air. So it's, you know, I don't think we're looking at tropical downpours. It'll be a little muggy, but notice, even into Saturday afternoon, some of those light rain showers could hang around. But again, no problems are expected from them. If you have anything planned on Saturday, just be mindful that, you know, that small chance of rain showers is there. Heading into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, very seasonable and then cooler as we head into October.
Looks like a great weekend for homecoming here at SUNY Binghamton. So we move from first weather to football weather. And still ahead here at 11, Section 4 is Under the Lights. We have high school football, we have high school football, And we have high school field hockey coming at you after the break. Stay tuned. The Sports Desk is next.
A migrant crisis flooding our communities with deadly drugs. Cashless bail, emboldening violent criminals. I'm Craig DeMunn, and I've seen firsthand the impact of far-left leaders. Josh Riley, endorsed by extremist defunded police Democrats, is cut from the same cloth. That's why I'm voting for Mark Molinaro. He supports law enforcement and will work with Republicans to secure our border.
I'm Mark Molinaro, and I approve this message. I've never backed down from a fight, and I never will.
What if you never had to worry about what you could do? Because you could do anything. What if all the things that get in your way were gone? So the only thing left was possibility. If anywhere could be the center of everywhere, and boundaries only existed to be pushed. If every single drop of potential could be made real. So the only limit you faced is how big you could dream. And say you knew there were like almost 100,000 people across the country, right in your town, committed to making it happen. Every day. What would you do then? Some pretty cool stuff, I bet. Yeah. That'd be some life. That'd be life unlimited.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism. We want to get answers. We want to teach you something.
We always try to give viewers a takeaway, something they can learn from a story.
What is the solution here? Every story we air, we strive to be able to show that.
There are things that affect our homes, that affect our families, that affect our health, that we are learning every day from these stories.
Do you think people are dying?
Should this be better regulated? Should I be concerned? Do you recall when you became aware of that law?
The beauty of this show is that we have a team of reporters all across the country.
From very diverse backgrounds.
The public has a right to know. How big of a problem is that?
Should they be revoking these certifications?
I think viewers are looking for something different, something fresh, something that feels helpful to them.
And it allows us to tell the best of the best stories and show them to you every day.
I met Robin, and he helped me find a mentor who guided me a little bit. He's up in Binghamton, I believe. And I just did the business plan, and I decided to act on it, as I really like the boba tea, and it's popular with my generation of people, and you can't really get it in rural areas, which clearly that's where I'm at. So it took off, and Robin nominated me for the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year, and that's how we got here.
This is the Jeff Kai's Auto Sports Desk.
Tioga tries to start a new streak in the Eagles' nest. Girls soccer hits the pitch for a Section 4 doubleheader, and the Bombers are the best in the American League East. This is the Sports Desk. The Tioga Tigers are in unfamiliar territory. The team is coming off a loss. It's the first time in 43 games that is the case for. The defending Class D state champions try to start a new winning streak as they travel to Spencer for a showdown with the Eagles. Spencer Benny and Cantor hosting Tioga. Both teams in search of bounce-back wins. First quarter, Tioga on the move. But the ball comes out, and the Eagles are on it. It's Theo Muller-Steinhardt. He gets the recovery for the Eagles. And they try to turn it into points. Quarterback Logan Cody rolling to his right. He connects with Nevin Mack for a solid gain, but the Eagles unable to get any points during the drive. Skip ahead now to the second. Tigers chipping away. Shane Plackus with a strong run down the sideline to move the chains. Then just a few plays later, Tioga gets the job done on the ground. Jake Brown dives across the goal line. He gets the touchdown, and the Tigers break to 0. That's the first of 4 touchdowns as the Tigers win this one 28-0. High school girls soccer is back on the pitch for a pair of Section 4 showdowns. 4 of the biggest districts in the area matched up with one another for a Metro doubleheader. We start at Alumni Stadium as Union Endicott and Binghamton faced off. Sophomore Victoria Elliott doing work. The pretty move, the pretty shot, and she gets that one past keep for the first goal of the game. And here she goes again, the one-on-one. No stopping her with the left foot. She puts that in the back of the net, and the Tigers are up early. Angie Banks doing all she can for the Patriots to try to bring Binghamton back, but keeps there, and the Tigers keep the shutout going. And then here, it's Elliott again, drawing 3 defenders. Binghamton can't get it out of the box. Tigers intercept, and they get it on the foot of Megan Ryan, who she puts it in the back of the net. Way too much Tigers right from the get-go. They get the win 9-0. We move across the Shenango River to Johnson City, where Maine Enwell and JC went at it, and Spartans got out early and got out often. After that, the defense clamped down, though, and JC holded serve for much of the first half, but unfortunately, 8 goals in the first few minutes was way too much. The Spartans travel to Johnson City. They get the win 8-0 over the Wildcats. We move on to some field hockey, where Whitney Point took on Newark Valley. Eagles' Ava Oliver would get a roller to take an early 1-0 lead. And then on a penalty corner try from Whitney Point, the ball gets in the back of the net after it's put in the perfect spot. Keelan Smith taps it in to extend the lead to 2. The Cardinals defense trying to attempt any further scores. Goalkeeper Grace Gullis with the stop here. This is pretty, but she couldn't make enough of them, unfortunately, as Whitney Point rolls here 11-0. We move on to the National Football League, and the Cowboys get the win 20-15. Dak Prescott, 20 of 27, 2 touchdowns. And hey, if you had Greg Joseph on your fantasy team, good for you. He was 5 for 5 hitting field goals, but if you're a Giants fan, not so much, as they take the loss 20-15 in the Meadowlands. We move across the city and to the Bronx. The Bombers are your American League East AL champs. They wrap this one up. Aaron Judge, 1 for 2 on the night. That one, though, his 58th home run of the year. Yanks, they get the win 10-1. Actually, we're going to update that graphic for you. Either way, the Yanks are celebrating. Don't go anywhere. We'll have one final story after the break.